making sure that your training area is safe and it's clear from all obstructions, whether it's other plates or mobility equipment, okay? Because sometimes when the fan goes on, these foam rollers, they literally fly across the room, or or you might be like using a lacrosse ball, maybe, you know, with your back against the wall, and then you might not be paying attention, it slips out, and then that happens, somebody's lifting, yep, and their foot lands on top of that while they're overhead with the jerk. We know that stuff like that's unintentional, but those can fly everywhere, so just be careful of that. And then not just that, lifting with maybe plates that are too close to your training area, so when they drop, then your barbell drops on that plate and it'll bounce differently. It'll spin around, hit you, hit the next person, and most definitely cause an injury. So just be aware of that. Let's say I just do my lift, right? I got my jerk, I'm wobbling with it, I'm walking with it, and then I have that in front of me. Okay, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Or I have the plates a little too close, all right? I do my clean, right? I come up and I drop it, and now since that's so close, that would hit you in your shin very hard. Or bounce around, hit somebody else, get in the way of somebody else when they're lifting, and somebody can get really, really hurt that way, okay? So that would be equipment. Another thing sometimes we take for granted, I mentioned earlier, is the foam roller. All right, again, when that fan goes on, these are really, really light, and they fly across the room, and we just don't realize it. So make sure these are either off to the side, or you've got this in there, right? Forget about it, that's another disaster. So just be mindful of that. We know you guys aren't doing it on purpose, but that can, you know, like I said, fly all over the room and get out of control. All right, you guys, last but definitely not least, talking about like cleaning up your space, disinfecting some of the equipment, and chalk staying in the bag or in the bucket, all right? It's very easy to keep as much chalk in your bag or bucket as possible, right? I got a lot instead of doing this. Or, right, I'm chalking it outside of it, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna lift, right? Or another example of that would be if you maybe don't have a bag, you can definitely grab one of our rags if you don't want to mop up too much after, and you can put it right on top of it, and then the rag gets cleaned up. No problem with that. So then if you do have that issue, it's okay. The gym is made to get dirty, that's fine. You'll notice that we have a bucket off to the corner, right? I'll pull it over here for now. It's pretty much filled with water all the time. So I'm gonna get that wet in there, and this is gonna clean up very nicely. All right, don't worry about mopping down the wood. We don't want that to get wet, especially if somebody's gonna be lifting right after you, okay? Coming back to our barbell and cleaning that off. You don't want to spray it right away. It's gonna be much harder to get all that chalk off, all right? Again, so you don't want a lot of chalk on the platform. I'd roll it off to the side. And then I'm not pushing really hard, I'm just lightly brushing it. And I'm gonna turn as I'm going back and forth through here. There you go, see all that chalk is coming off. I gotta mop again, that's okay. Right, I would do the same thing the other side. And then you're gonna wanna, right, spray all that down. Just like that. Preferably, please, when the barbell is in this position. All right, when the barbells are on the rack, let's show you this example. Or you spray and you clean it like this. All of that liquid is gonna fall into the barrel and through here, and it's gonna eat up the grease, it's gonna dry it out, and that's not what we want. So wipe them when they're flat, on the floor, on the rig, just not in this position, because we don't want that going in there. We know there's a lot of information in those videos. So if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me or one of the other staff members with Tradition Barbell or Tradition Fitness. Please remember that all of these are in place to make sure that you guys get the best and the most out of each training session and each class. And we're here to have fun, we're here to grow, and we're here to learn at the end of the day. Thanks, guys.